Hi, my name is Aaron Quinones, or as most people know me, Sergeant Q. I'm a Marine and I had the great honor of serving with 1st Anglico, the Air Naval Gunfire Liaison Company, where I served as a communications specialist and forward observer. When I came back from deployment, I was really struggling with mental health and I just didn't understand it. I was dealing with anxiety, depression, suicidal ideations, and at one point, I almost ended my own life in a vacant parking lot. Well, thank God that I didn't. Over the last 14 years, I've been able to grow my janitorial company from just me and one other guy scrubbing toilets in the middle of the night to having over 120 employees in the Pacific Northwest. 6 years ago, the Lord called me to lead other veterans to find that same healing that I did. And so I founded Q Missions, which is now a local award-winning nonprofit helping veterans overcome trauma the same way that I did. I've also published a book. I'm a published author right there, where anybody can pick this book up on Amazon now and go through the same process that I've been using to help other veterans. I've received multiple awards from the Department of Veterans Affairs for this Healing Through Service program. And in 2017, they named me Seattle's Hometown Hero. And now I work as part of the Seattle Seahawks Task Force 12, along 11 other veteran nonprofits, making great strides in helping veterans in the veteran space. Now, as successful as my business was and the nonprofit and the book, I was still struggling to help veterans like everybody else when they were going through a mental health crisis. It was incredibly difficult. And this was a stumbling block that I found throughout the veteran nonprofit world, is how do we stay connected with people when they're going through a crisis? So I went back to the drawing board using military battle tactics with emerging technology, and I created a unique way for veterans in distress to communicate when they're going through a mental health crisis. As a communication specialist, I knew this was the way. Now, when we began to build this tool, we looked at emergency first aid in America. So we looked at the Heimlich maneuver, CPR, and the AED system. And we asked ourselves, why do these systems work? And the answer was simple. They work because they put the power to save a life in the hands of the average person, the person that's closest to the victim. And it's that person that keeps them alive long enough to get them to the emergency services that they need. Well, this app does the very same thing. It puts the power to save a life in the hands of the average person, the person closest to the veteran. And it allows them to keep them alive long enough to get them to the professional medical treatment that they need. So what was first designed just for veterans is now serving the greater community with versions for police, fire departments, EMT, hospital workers, and currently we're working on a model for the youth community. Now, all of this wouldn't have been possible without the great help of Cone Health Ventures, who saw the success of our app and put it through a medical trial. So last year, QActual entered medical trials. It was a 10-month-long study, and the results were amazing, and they'll be published later this year. So we have a product that works. We have clinical data behind it. Now we need funding. Funding so I can hire a team to roll this thing out across the nation, so we can start saving lives on a massive scale. Now, the hospital system will tell you they lose $69 billion a year to suicide. But the far greater cost is the loss of human capital. It's the moms and the dads, the brothers and sisters that we lose, the potential that they have to make a difference in the world. I just think if I would have been successful in my suicide attempt, I would have never started a company where I employ over 120 people in the Pacific Northwest. I would have never raised 2 great kids who are now missionaries to the world. I would have never become a public author or speaker, trainer, and coach with John Maxwell. I would have never created an award-winning nonprofit that's helping veterans across the nation. And I wouldn't have been able to create this life-saving technology. So join with me as we revolutionize the way we help people struggling with mental health. We may never change the world, but we might just save the life of the person who does. I'm Sergeant Q, and I'm out.